So Aquaman 2 is a thing that is happening, apparently. The first one was so successful, it made, I think, just a little over $1 billion at the box office on its initial release. And obviously, a lot of people are wanting a sequel because the first one was fun. I really enjoyed the first film, to be honest. But we've been hearing behind the scenes, there's been a lot of reshoots for this Aquaman film, 2 at most. But now, from the Hollywood Reporter, we're hearing it's just gone through its third round of reshoots just recently before the WGA and SAG strike. So obviously Aquaman 2 was filmed before Gunn took over DC Studios as co-CEO along with Peter Safran. So he's had notes. This man has had notes on this film, but I'm sure it's also Warner Brothers that have had notes on this film, because what basically happened, it was test audiences thought it was terrible, basically. So yes, they were going to do reshoots. That's just a natural thing in movie making business, is you will do reshoots. It could be from something to do with a major plot point to kind of make it more obvious on screen, or it could literally be a shot of, I don't know, Arthur Curry, his hand grabbing the big fork thing he has. I've forgotten what it's fucking called. And it was also rumoured during those reshoots, so the initial idea was to obviously have Michael Keaton's Batman appear in the post-credits or end credits or the last scene or whatever, because the original plan was to have Michael Keaton as the main DCEU going forward Batman, replacing Ben Affleck, and then there was a bit of back and forth, so they got Ben Affleck in for reshoots. And, Jason Momoa spoiled this and kind of fucked off Warner Brothers because they're not having either Batman in it now. I'm only joking, it's not Jason's fault that neither Batman are in it. It's just because the DC brand is rebooting, with the new DCU with Superman Legacy going forward. So it's all changed. So it makes sense that there's no Batman in it, either Batmans, and they haven't got a new Batman for the DCU yet, if this film is set in the DCU. Hamada wanted Michael Keaton's version of the character to be akin to Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, blah 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 blah, and then Affleck was brought in because they were going to do a big Crisis on Infinite Earth thing. That was the potential, but obviously Gunn took over, and here we are today. Insiders say that the filmmakers were in the dumps over the seemingly never-ending post-production process and waterlogged test scores. However, the skies may have cleared with the new reshoots. This film has been in post-production for about 18 months now. That poor fucking editor. Lost Kingdom is already an expensive production. It was greenlit at $205 million budget. Again, with everything going on with these strikes and everything, what movie has to be $205 million? I'm sure we're all asking the question. But also, this film's going to be costing a lot more than that with these heavy reshoots and continuing post-production and VFX heavy, because Aquaman's all underwater, so that's not easy. Filmmakers in the studio know the value that smart post-production can bring. The first Aquaman was also facing turbulent waves, and is said to have found its footing only in post, when a new ending was burnished and the movie tightened to a zipper 2 hours and 23 minutes. I mean, there is hope. There is hope for this movie. If it's worked in the reshoots and the post-production, we could be looking at another $1 billion for Warner Brothers. But obviously they can't give any money to the writers and actors who can't even afford health insurance back in the US. But hey, as long as they make $1 billion, hey. Oh, this is funny. In conjunction with Blue Beetle, the filmmakers of Blue Beetle were given 2 days. 2 days of additional photography. A previous version said they were denied those days. Okay, that kind of confirms to me Warner Brothers has no belief in Blue Beetle. Moving on. Aquaman and Lost Kingdom doing reshoots. James Gunn has the opportunity to do the funniest thing. I mean, he could have George Clooney be the Batman at the end. That would be pretty hilarious, because it kind of solidifies that Arthur Curry and the Flash, these versions are stuck in the Clooney-verse now. Oh, this is from that same article. We must have skipped it. But James Gunn is said to have weighed in on the most recent cut of Aquaman 2, and he approved a 5-day shoot. The shoot went so well that James Wan and the crew completed what they needed in only 4 days. So there is hope. There is still hope, guys. Neither Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's version of Batman are in Aquaman 2 anymore. James Gunn and Peter Safran did not want to give fans false hope that one of them would return in the future. Absolutely the correct thing to do. Really is. But it's a shame that this guy posted that photo, because it got a lot of people excited. I think this is a year ago now, but it got a lot of people excited at the potential of Ben Affleck returning in other projects. But Ben Affleck doesn't want to be Batman anymore. Come on. Yeah, all signs point to the studio being confident in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Again, who knows? I'm kind of unsure. Heroes Unbound. The reshoots. Bruce Hayar for One on Espresso. Aquaman, my man. CGI transition to Other Earth. David Corrin says Superman looking at the camera. If you don't follow Heroes Unbound, by the way, sick Twitter. There's some really awesome threads and everything about superhero films and so on. Yeah, Ben Affleck's scene in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has reportedly been cut. His scene was going to replace Michael Keaton's scene, bloody blah blah. I mean, we'll see if Aquaman 2 delivers. You never know. Might be a big surprise. I thought the first Aquaman was brilliant. I was very surprised. I didn't even go to see it in cinema. I was so shocked by it. It was very good. It was very good. Now, talking a lot about Batman being in the end of Aquaman 2, some interesting photos have popped up online since the Flash's digital release, which I have bought and purchased and will be watching on my 4K telly again, just to see if I like it better a second time round. But photos like this from Sabrina at Night Wayne's, obviously we've got Affleck behind the scenes in the blue and grey suit, but also there's this suit, and this is quite interesting actually, because this is from the original post-credit scene where, you know, at the end of the Flash, Keaton's Bruce Wayne appears, Sasha Calle as Supergirl, supposedly Wonder Woman, and also Henry Cavill's Superman. But this was a post-credit scene where Affleck's Batman, in this completely different looking coloured suit, contacts Barry through his multiple monitors in his bedroom, and basically says, "Barry, come find us, Barry." And it was hinting at the nightmare timeline that Zack Snyder had initially set up. Also, for action figure fans, that explains why this Ben Affleck Batman that came out in conjunction with the Flash is that colour and not the blue and grey we saw in the film, because in the original post-credit scene he had this suit. So finally answered. And to kind of close all this off, I want to just make a statement that the Hollywood can go fuck itself, because basically Discussing Film here said studios are losing at least 600k per week for each halted production due to their unwillingness to pay actors and writers fairly. I wonder what they could do better with that money. Who knows? Anyway, are you looking forward to Aquaman 2? Are you not looking forward to Aquaman 2? Let me know in the comments below what you think about all this stuff coming out about Aquaman 2. And also, don't forget to support the WGA and the SAG strikes going on in the US right now. It's really important they get this deal, guys. This is one of the biggest events in Hollywood that's happening right now. And I really, really pray they get what they deserve. Thank you. Bye.